We are at TieCon 2012, and it is my pleasure to welcome Sam Pitroda, who we all know as the father of telecommunications in India. So welcome, Sam.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So Sam, there's a huge alumni of people who have, in one form or the other, gone through CDOT or another experience and created this. So how does it feel so many years later for you? I mean, when you look back at all these achievements?
It really feels good to know that India is a nation of connected billion. Not too long ago, we used to have 2 million telephones for 750 million people. I still remember days when it used to take 10, 15 years to get a telephone connection. So I think as a nation, we have come a long way, but not just in telecom. I think 91 liberalization, our entrepreneurial spirit is beginning to change the landscape of the country. As you know, we are growing at the rate of 8 to 10%. And we have to continue to grow at this rate to really address the problems related to poverty. And that's the challenge for all of us. So it feels good that we think we are on the right track.
So it is interesting that you raised this question, because yesterday Deepak Chopra, who was one of the keynotes, he talked about we are creating all this wealth, but there is a lot of disparity being also created with so many people who are not part of this. We have to figure out ways to uplift them. And you are talking about the same thing. So I'd like to know, what are your thoughts on it?
We are all focused on inclusive growth. We are all concerned about equity. And I think the entire plan that we have underway really focuses indeed on inclusive growth. It has to do with land reforms, it has to do with NREGA, employment guarantee scheme programs, food security. All of these national programs are really designed to focus on bottom of the pyramid, focus on creating opportunities for poorest of the poor. That is the real challenge.
So, a lot of people who kind of get skeptics because of the bureaucracy that has been in the system for so many years, how do you make them kind of change their thinking about it?
These things take time. First of all, people talk about corruption, bureaucracy. It's everywhere. Believe me, there is bureaucracy here also. There is corruption everywhere in the world. That's way of life. Not that you and I like it. We would like to minimize it. But you can't take that as a shield and shy away and not do the things that need to be done. You got to do it in spite of it. You still have to improve bureaucracy. You still have to improve, everything else. But the point is, you got to do what you got to do.
So I think India is one country where people say it does well in spite of the government, while in China people say it does well because of the government. How do you see that changing?
I think the way to look at that is not what China does or what India does. The way to look at it is to see the democracy versus something else. I think India does provide very robust democracy. You have a right to speak, right to move, right to do what you want to do, and there is price to pay for that right. If you don't want that right, that's your privilege. But if you want that right, don't expect things to happen overnight.
Very well said. So let me just ask you in closing, what's the message that you want to give to all the entrepreneurs here who have, in some form or the other, some India connections?
Come home and help us in building new India. Come home, help create more jobs. Come home, worry about inclusive growth. And you have lots of opportunities there. Come invest your time, your talent, your emotions, and maybe your money also.
Thank you.
Thank you.